Good evening. Give you a second to find your seat there. I'd like to call this meeting together to order for the member of the County Board of Commissioners, special call meeting July 2nd, 2024, 6 o'clock p.m. I'd like to check your electronic devices and cell phones and have them turned off. And at this time, if any of the cities have got a quorum, you're more than welcome this time to call your meeting to order. And then we'll ask everybody to mention their name and who they represent. Let's start with, there we go. Let's start.
The City of Greenville special call meeting will please come to order. Roll call. Councilmember Jerry Ray. Here. Councilmember Darrell Ogletree. Here. Mayor Pro Tem Jasmine Fuller. Here. Mayor Holmes Darby. Present. Councilmember Virginia Hill. Sorry. Yes, she's coming.
No. Will you introduce yourselves?
Oh, no, wait a minute.
I'm sorry. Okay, you call out the names, but that's good enough. We'll go right on to City of Gay. Do y'all have a quorum? Do y'all need to call your meeting to order?
We're ready. Just call to order the town of Gay. Roll call.
Mayor Walker,
Present.
Councilmember Ashley, Councilmember Keith,
Here.
Councilmember Pritchett, on time, Councilmember Watts.
Here.
The City of Lone Oak. Do y'all have a quorum? Do you need to call it to order? Okay. You want to introduce yourselves?
California Lamb, City Council Member, Loma.
Oh, I didn't see that. I saw that long table there. I didn't see it. We'll go back to City of Manchester. Do you have a quorum? Do you need to call to order?
We do not have a quorum at this time.
All right, if you would at least introduce your.
I'm Cortez Warrior, Mayor Pro Tem, City of Manchester.
Danny Wadsworth, City Council, Manchester.
Mark Pruitt, City Manager, Manchester.
Good to see you, Mark. Now we'll go right on over to Luthersville.
The city of Luthersville, the meeting will be called to order. We do have a quorum. If the county, I'm Mayor Sewell. If the council member would introduce themselves.
I'm Councilmember Lee.
Michelle Amy, Mayor Pro Tem.
Melissa Washington, councilperson.
And we do have a quorum.
And then the City of Woodbury. Do you have a quorum?
I do. Mayor Ron Garrett, I'll call our meeting to order. Council members introduce themselves.
Jada Holmes, council member. Carolyn Ellison, council member. Amanda Harding, Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah. Have I missed anybody else? Well, thank you and welcome all y'all to be here.
Anybody in the audience too.
What's that?
Anybody in the audience and they introduce themselves too.
Is there anybody in the audience that would like to introduce themselves?
My name is Scott Lady, I'm the city attorney of Manchester and Woodbury.
All right.
Danny Hill, Council Member, City of Greenville.
There you go. Thank you. But now that we got all that out of the way, we're going to start with invocation in blue, if you don't mind. Amen. Stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Everybody, please stand and bow your heads. Father, we come to you today to do glory to your name and to lead our communities in the way that you want us to go. Please bless us with your grace and your presence. Help us make the right decisions for the people. And always we do everything in your Son's name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I guess it'd be just as appropriate for us to introduce ourselves since we're from all over the entire county. We'll start down there.
Eddie Collins, County Commissioner, District 3.
Rosa Plant, County Commission District 2.
Gene King, County Commissioner, District 1, Chairman.
Adam Worsley, Commissioner District 5, Vice Chairman.
Brian Craighill, Commissioner, District 4, Manchester.
Derek Gay, I work with Edward County for special projects. Derek Gay. I'll be doing part of the presentation today. Thank y'all.
Jared McCarthy, County Administrator.
John Gordon, Mayor of the County Finance Director.
Lou Cole, Assistant County Administrator.
Allison Stevens, County Clerk.
Michael Hill, County Attorney.
Thank you very much. We'll move right on to the next, to adopt the agenda. So do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
We need to add under new business, item number 3, consider holiday as a one-time observance for this Friday.
Anything else need to be addressed or attached to the agenda? If not, I'll look for a motion to adopt the agenda. So moved. Got a motion, got a second?
Second.
A second, all in favor? There we go. We'll move right into new business. First thing, presentation of the T-Splosh and discussion of distribution of funds and proposed projects. Mr. Darren Gay.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I think
Yes, sir.
our administrator will
was,
start it off, and then I'll go from there.
Yes, sir. I was going to take us through a few broad strokes and whatnot, and then Ms. Theron was going to follow up with a little bit more robust history and greater detail and whatnot.
Sounds good.
First of all, thank you to all our city representatives that came tonight. Those of you I've gotten to spend time with, really enjoyed it. I'm encouraged too that we have something we can work on tonight that's mutually beneficial for us all. So it's just nice to have this time to come together and have a little bit of communion as we do some business. Just that broad overview, as I was saying, a few highlights before we get into it. We have essentially the T-Splosh is a 1% sales tax dedicated to transportation. It's not a new tax, but it's actually a continuation of a tax that had been in place. The renewal goes before the voters on November 5th, 2024. And it's actually a 6-year collection period that will start April 2025 if we all sign off on it. We'll get that extra year. Instead of 5 years, we'll get 6 years. We're projecting roughly $12 million in collections. The distributions are based on 2020 census populations, where about 8 million would go to the county and 4 million broken up amongst the cities. One thing I like to really push to make sure everybody knows, an advantage of this is that whenever we do a tax like this, we get to essentially collect money from out-of-towners, whether it be commuters or people traveling through the area, people coming to visit. We get to fund ourselves with a little bit of their money, so that's something that's very nice. A few of the eligible uses for the funds are patching, resurfacing, grading, drainage, graveling, paving, bridge and culvert repairs or replacement, transportation signage, sidewalks, and equipment for road maintenance. The last one is particularly important because a lot of people think it does work on the road here or there, but it can go towards equipment that can work on all roads. And this is especially important to us, I think, because whatever money the county puts towards the towards equipment, we of course have in our service delivery strategy that we assist the cities with equipment and manpower and whatnot. So that is something that benefits us all. Also, just wanted to mention that the county will be doing programs to help educate the public. Staff can't outright tell people how to vote or campaign, but I've already spoken with the Lions Club, and Blue and I will both be going to the Rotary Club at some point as well. So we'll be helping spread the word and kind of help educate the public.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chair. Appreciate that. Again, welcome everybody here. It's good to see everybody. And I've tried to get around and speak to each city about this, the mayors and city managers and all, to tell you a little bit about what was coming. We do appreciate everybody working to get in and meet on this holiday week. So as our county administrator already said, T-Splosh is something that we can use only for transportation related projects. Splosh, as you all know, which we're going to be talking about probably this time next year, is actually can be used for just about any capital item that you have. but T-Splosh has to be strictly related to the issue of transportation. And I'll give you guys a little bit of history on T-Splosh. I was involved with it. The legislators in the state of Georgia were hesitant to really do anything about the fact that we had insufficient dollars in hand to be able to fund our transportation needs. GDOT's dollars were dropping. So in 2010, they came up with what I kind of say was a program where they could put that off on someone else, and they end up with a win-win scenario for them, and it didn't turn out exactly as they had planned. The legislators decided, rather than bite the bullet and go and move forward with trying to create more funds, they would give counties and regions the opportunity to vote for what they call T-Splosh. And that come forward in 2010. And the idea behind it was, well, we'll put out in all these regions, and Meriwether County was lumped in with Coweta and Fulton and all these areas there. There were 12 regions across the state. So they lumped everybody together on that and said, okay, we're going to go out there and do this. Well, the legislators honestly were, because I talked to several of them about it, they were in a position to where they couldn't get blamed for whatever happened. If it passed and people complained about taxes going up, they could say, well, you voted for it. If it failed and people voted it down and they complained about their roads, they could say, well, we gave you an opportunity. But in reality, it didn't really do much of anything for the majority of the state of Georgia. In fact, only 3 out of 12 regions across the state approved the T-Splosh. Most of those were in, I'd say, rural areas. Of course, so it was a monumental failure, honestly, because 3 of 12 is all that happened. And once they realized this, they went back and said, well, we got to do something. So back in 2015, they came back and they passed a law to establish a single county T-Splosh. And that could be on the ballot starting in 2017, I think it was. And that's what we're looking at today. In 2019, Meriwether County Board of Commissioners made the decision, along with the cities, that time to place T-Splosh on the ballot for consideration by the voters. And it passed overwhelmingly. It was like 76% approval on it. And we did a lot of programs to show what we were going to do with the dollars, and I think we will be able to show that we followed through, and that's what we've done. That program was projected to produce about $10 million worth of sales tax over the 5-year period. And as Jared already said, that comes from anyone who comes here and stops and shops. Now, I haven't done a survey in this county, but I did one in a neighboring counties years ago, and their estimates were 40% of the revenue came from outside of the county. Now, they have a lot of retail, granted, but I would say that ours, if you count the car tax, has a significant number of people from outside as well. And what they do is they come here, they buy things, they leave their sales tax dollars, and then they go back home. So that works out well for us. Again, we projected to have $10 million collections over the 5-year period. And I think right now, based upon John, our finance director, we're at projected to go about $11 million on the current term of T-Splosh. So we've done what we said we would do, hopefully, in collections. And we'll talk a little bit more about what we're looking at now. Again, this can only be used for transportation projects, and that is roads, bridges, public transit, rail, air, buses, sidewalks, road drainage, and culverts. That's a big issue with a lot of people. How you can fix the road, pave the road, but if you don't get the water off the road, you got a problem. And so you can include culverts in that as well. And as we said earlier, you can also include equipment in there that's related strictly to roads. Okay, I'll talk just a minute about the LMIG impact. And LMIG, of course, is a local maintenance improvement grant from GDOT, and hopefully we all are sharing to that. And we right now we have to participate and add a 30% percentage of that for the county's participation and city's participation. When they put out this original plan back in 2010, they were saying, well, we're going to give you as an incentive, we're going to give you a 10% match instead of a 30% match. But in reality, it really didn't matter a whole lot, because when you get into a program, you want to do as much as you can with that program. So the difference in the 10% to 30%, I know Meriwether County spends probably 50% of local funds for every dollar we get to the MIG. So we all go ahead. So the caveat that they were going to let you buy with 10% match really wasn't, again, a good selling point. And under the single county T-Splost, the match remains at 30%. But as I said, that's not really a big deal. In fact, you could use T-Splost to match that 30% if you chose to do so. So the question is, why are we here today? Well, when T-Splost was approved in 2019, it was for a 5-year period. They've since changed some of the laws, and you can now go to a 6-year term in some instances, and we'll talk about that in more detail. Our current T-Splost is set to expire in March of 2025. So the county, all the cities will get your last proceeds from this current T-Splost in March of next year. And what we're here today to talk about is discussing the renewal of that T-Splost program for a new term that will start in April of 2025. And getting it on board now and having it voted on in November will assure that when you get your last check in March of 2025 for the current T-Splost, the next month you're going to get your first check for the newly renewed T-Splost. So the funding will continue on through. Now, some of the reasons, some of the issues behind it is you actually have to have a SPLOST in place before you can have a T-Splost. State won't let you go out and do a T-Splost till you have a SPLOST in place. We have that SPLOST in place, and it will expire after this is approved, but hopefully we'll get that done again next year as well. So what we have to have is we need an intergovernmental agreement. That's one of the things that we're here tonight to talk about. With an intergovernmental agreement, we can now extend this. If all the cities join in with the county, we can extend this to 6 years instead of 5. That means about $2+ million more of sales tax coming into our community to be used on roads, bridges, and transportation. Tonight, we're going to ask you guys to go through, we'll walk through the IGA. It has to have a list of the qualified projects that we're going to do. We've got an estimated dollar amounts for those projects. We've got to have a procedure for distributing the proceeds to the qualified cities. And we got to have a schedule of distribution of the proceeds. We have to talk about proceeds will need to be maintained in a separate account. Your accountants can tell you that. Got to have separate record keeping. And all of this will be covered in the IGA. Now, with your current T-Splost funds, the law on the T-Splost says that you have to expend those funds within 5 years after the last receipt. So you guys keep in mind, when you get your March 2025 check, will be the last check on your current T-Splost, you need to spend that money first and spend it before 5-year period is out, okay? There were some sections of the law that's been amended since we last talked about the T-Splost. And back then, you didn't have to have an IGA, but it had some different formulas and it ended up letting you collect at a lesser amount, etc. But now you actually have to have an IGA in place, but we only have to have that IGA with enough municipalities to reach 50% of the municipal population. But we don't want to do that. We want to have everybody on board and everybody sharing in this. If a city doesn't sign the IGA and just says, hey, we don't want to participate, then the distribution to that city will be based on a formula set out in state law. It is based on the centerline road miles and population ratio back against the other cities. I haven't looked at some of the numbers on that, and I would say that small towns in particular are probably better off with the distribution we're talking about, which is on population, than trying to go back to the centerline miles and the population ratio, because some of them do not have a lot of centerline miles. State routes do not count. If all the cities agree to the IDA, then the T-Splosh can be extended, as I said, to a 6-year program. And again, that will generate about $2 million more to the process and to our road programs. So it's very important for each city to highly consider executing the IGA. Now, so what happens if we projected, for example, $10 million, looks like we're going to collect over $11 million. What happens to that dollars? Well, those dollars go into the thing and they get distributed out just like the first dollar did. So every city, if it goes over, every city and the county will all benefit from that extra revenue. It'll be calculated out as part of your regular distribution formula, and you'll receive dollars on that. Now, at one time, you wanted to project high on your sales tax because you didn't want it to run out. And if you reached the criteria that you said we're going to collect X dollars, when you reached X, it stopped. They have changed the law on that, thank goodness, and the law now allows you to go ahead and continue it. You just have to continue to treat it just like it's the regular T-Splosh. So we're glad that that has been done. We'll talk a little bit about the important dates and times. And again, I thank all of you guys for coming in today. We ended up on a really tight schedule. We had to notify all the cities 10 days before tonight's meeting as a minimum. And of course, here we are on July the 2nd. After tonight, we finish our meeting today, all of the cities that have a quorum, if you so desire, could go ahead and execute the IGA. If you don't have a quorum here tonight, we do need to have you meet as soon as possible when you get back with your mayor and council to consider executing the IGA and return it back to the county. And remember, we're going to be giving you guys tonight a set of signature sheets. And there's going to be 8 or 10 of those in the stack. What we want to do is to ask you, when your city council and mayor pass this, please sign all of those and return it. What we'll do is we'll package it up. We'll send everybody then. We'll have an original signature contract out for the IGA. Okay. So after tonight, again, we're still going to be on a tight timeline. We need to have all the approved IGAs back by July the 19th. Okay, that gives us time to package them together, and after that, we also have to, if there's a city, either one of the cities that do not agree and say we're not going to sign this IGA, then they're going to drop into the formula. But we also have to go back and rework our numbers because all those numbers are going to drop because they're based on 6 years now. They'll drop down by whatever percentage, that $2 million that everybody's receiving. So we'd really love to have that $6 million. It gives you another year of revenue to be able to work on important projects. On July the 31st, the Board of Commissioners are going to call a special meeting for that day. And they're going to execute a resolution asking the Board of Elections to add the T-Splosh question to the ballot for November the 5th, 2024. And if we miss that date, then T-Splosh will not happen this year, and we will not be getting dollars in April of 2025. It'll have to go on the ballot sometime whenever the law allows in 2025. So it's very important that we stick to those dates and deadlines and be able to have that ready to go.
Excuse me for a minute.
Yes.
Doesn't, if we fail to get it on the ballot, we have to wait 12 months to try and put it on the next?
If it goes and fails, put it on the ballot, it fails, you got to wait 12 months. Yeah.
Not if we fail to
get it on there, right. So we could get it on there sometime, I don't know when we'll call for it. There's a special date I think they've set. Michael, you may.
I'm trying to remember if it's in May. If we missed the November, it may be
May. And then, so it will tell you if it's May, then it'll take June, July, August, around September. So what we'll do is we'll miss out on funding,
But keep in mind too, if we have to go that route, that's going to cost the county
$20,000,
$30,000 just to put it on the ballot and have a special election just for that one thing. So if we don't all join on board and work together and get it done and then decide later, okay, we're going to do it, we don't make the timeline. Well, we're doing it, but we just do $30,000 away too that we could be helping with the cities or helping with the county. So,
part of one of the questions or one of the things in the IGA that's out there is it says that everybody will share the pro rata cost of the election. But as Commissioner King pointed out, this year we already have an election, so there'll be really no extra cost to the county. So, no extra cost to the city for that. We do, with having a federal election, it does put us on a tighter time frame. We wouldn't have to be in such a rush if it wasn't, because we'd only have to have it there 30 days. Now we got to get it there better than 90 days for the call of the election. So with that said, each of you should have the IGA copy of it in front of you. And again, I'll just recap this and then we'll take a look at the projects. Of course, this is required between the city, between the county, and 50% of the municipal population. And we have
Is there
a
anybody
project
that does
list.
not have a copy to follow along? Do we have any more copies? You got 2 more copies.
Okay.
I see 2 hands, so that's perfect.
Good idea. Okay. So tonight we want to cover the project list for each entity. We try to make them broad. You don't have to say we're going to resurface Main Street. You can just say you're going to resurface streets and redo drainage, etc. That leaves you some flexibility, because what may be a priority today may not be a priority for you tomorrow. So this gives you some flexibility on that. And we also want to make sure that your addresses are correct in here. And we'll start and just kind of go through that process now, if that's okay with everybody. So this will be the intergovernmental agreement. We've set this out and our attorneys have looked at it and set it forth where it can meet with, with the Georgia law. We've got the city of Pine Mountain in here as well. The way the laws changed and modified, they are included. They're a very small percentage, but they are included. We have talked with them and they will be, I'll be meeting with them later this month to get their signature. They have no problem with it whatsoever. So what we've got is over on page 2, it shows you the county municipalities that are agreed to divide the T-SPLOST based upon the population in the census. And that's what we have historically done with SPLOST, T-SPLOST, other things that we've had. And so that means 66.83% would go to the county and 33.17 would be distributed to municipalities based upon the population of each city. So what we have going down is the county, with the 6-year projection, will be collected about $8 million. If we go 5 years, that number drops back to $6.7 million. City of Greenville would collect $462,000 thereabouts. And of course, if it goes up and we gain more dollars and produce more revenue, that figure goes up as well. It would drop back to $383,000 if we went to the 5 years. City of Gay would receive approximately $64,200 over that period. It would drop back to $50,000 or less if we went back to the 5 years. Same with Lone Oak. Lone Oak is slated to receive $66,500 based upon that collection. And again, it would drop back to around 50 as well if we didn't have the 6 year. City of Luthersville projected to produce $451,800 worth of revenue. And again, it would drop back to $375 if we didn't have the 6 year. City of Manchester, a little over $2 million is projection. It would drop back to 1.7. Warm Springs projected to receive $270,600. It would drop back to $257. City of Woodbury is projected to receive approximately $528,000. It would drop back to $435,000. And of course, Pine Mountain is projected to collect about $50,000 worth of funds. Now, what we have listed as the projects, and you guys let me know if none of if these are not what you need, or if you wanted to add something to this. We've listed most all of the projects as patching, leveling, milling, resurfacing the streets, the grading, drainage, and paving of gravel roads, which the county's done a lot of, bridge and culvert repairs and a replacement, stormwater drainage improvements associated with transportation, transportation signage and safety improvements, and equipment dedicated to road and transportation maintenance and improvements. And also we've added sidewalk improvements in the cities. Sidewalk, not only improvements, but also expansion, because I know there's some desire to expand some of the sidewalk as well. So is that a reasonable work project list for all the cities? Is there anything else that you think you would like to add? Because we can add to it as long as it's transportation related. Yes, sir,
I
ma'am.
think you got the numbers for Greenville and Lucasville. Why? Because Lucasville population was more than Greenville
Just saying.
by the census. Which means that we should get a bigger percentage.
Yeah, you are. You're getting, you're not.
11.35.
I'll recalculate that. And we're showing that you were 11.35%.
So the population went Manchester, Woodbury, and then Lucasville.
Let me see what the population showed. You have figures on that.
And then Greenville.
Okay, let's see. Bakersville. We showed Greenville as 794 was the census. And we showed Luthersville as 776.
I see that on here, but that was not.
That,
Okay.
that's per the census, per the 2020 census. And we double checked that 2 or 3 times. We have it here, we double checked it multiple times to make sure we had the right number. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, thank you. So again, is there any other projects that you guys would like to have listed in the project category? We need to put those in the IGA after they are. These are pretty broad to allow you to be able to do pretty much whatever you need to do to be able to, to meet your qualifications. Yes, ma'am.
So would a bus for within the city limits, would that qualify?
It says in the law, buses, if they're used for transportation. Okay. And again, you need to go back and consult with your attorney to make 100% sure, but it does mention in there that buses and things of that nature, transportation related. Did you want to, did Greenville want to add
Yes,
buses?
we would like to add buses.
Okay. Okay. What about the other cities? Anybody else want to add buses? Doesn't mean you have to buy a bus, but we could add buses to everybody if you want to do that. What, what about Luthersville? You guys need a bus?
I would have to get back with you.
Okay. If you want, I can add buses. Doesn't mean you have to buy a bus. Okay. Okay. What about I add buses for all of the municipalities, and I guess the county as well? We'll add that. Doesn't mean we have to buy it. Okay, but it gives you guys that.
I didn't know if this was a collection of 3 rivers.
No, sir.
So we had talked about it.
Right. Yeah, this is a separate program from that. This would be something that you could provide if you needed one for the, the city. Okay. I'll add buses to all cities, okay, and the county. Okay, so we'll have that flexibility. Okay. Anything else we need to look at adding? I know Manchester had some safety things they wanted to do, and we've added the safety and the things in there already into the list. Any other lists that you guys would like to have in that category? Yeah. All right.
That was a question.
Yes, sir.
So if the buses need to go out of the county, would the buses be allowed to do whatever activities need to be out of the county?
They would be your buses you would have paid for with your tax dollars, and I don't think anyone would have any objection to that unless some of your citizens complain, but that
It
goes
doesn't
back
fit on
to
the
you.
same parameters as the Three Rivers.
Right, it's just
Because that's
totally-
very contractual under the state, so if you buy it under those tax dollars coming to your city, then that driver, that responsibility of all the maintenance, renewals, everything like that is on the city.
Right. These buses out here are owned by the state, as part of the program. So,
They do, these buses out here do transport.
They serve.
Citizens in the city of Woodbury, all over the city.
Yes.
right, they do.
Yes.
They do. Okay. All right, let's make sure everyone's address, if we can, is correct at this stop. Let me see if I can get over to where we are. Okay, we're on start on page 10. And Meriwether County's is correct. This is needed in case anything comes up, we need to notify anyone, involved in the matter.
It's actually page 13 of 32 if it's all stapled together, but it's page
Yeah.
10 of IGA.
Right.
Like we were trying to find it, I was trying to find it a while ago too, it said page 2 and I'm looking and.
I didn't even pay attention to
Yeah, it's the way
numbers
it's
in the
all
corner.
put together.
And I tried to update these when I met with the cities, so hopefully we got most all of them right, but if there's any change. Okay. City of Gate, okay? What will that address be?
19125,
19125,
correct. Highway 85.
Highway 85,
PO Box is correct.
257,
Yes, sir.
okay? That'll be 30218, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll get that corrected. Okay?
Do you need to have our physical addresses for, or just the PO box?
Really, we're talking about sending you something by mail. But if we got a physical address on here, yeah, we just got a PO box. Is there a physical address as well? Okay.
18053
18053
Main Street.
Main Street. Okay, Woodbury 303,
Correct.
30293.
Yes.
Okay, all right, good deal. Yes, sir.
Roanoke does not have the post office spot anymore.
Okay,
This was, we get more at the town hall. Unfortunately, I do not know the address, but I was
Okay.
about town clerk about that.
could you, would you check with that? Could you let Allison or Christie know? We'll get that.
Just let me know, Morgan.
Yeah, we'll get it done. Lucasville, I think you guys are correct. Manchester. All right. We got Pine Mountain already. Okay. All right. Again, we've gone over everything. The distribution of funds is based upon, in the IGS, based on the 2020 census, and we have checked those numbers several times. Again, if everyone is agreeable and signs, we can extend the T-Splosh to 6 years. And again, to restate, if you don't sign, then it's based upon a provision in the law that allows it to be calculated on road miles and population ratio. And that's probably not a good way to go unless you somehow have a lot of streets in your city. And at the end of the meeting, when we finish everything up, if Meriwether County and any of the cities that have a quorum want to approve and execute the IGA, we'll be fine with that. We have, again, as I said earlier, we have put multiple pages in there. We'd ask that you sign all of those. I know that's a lot of paper, but it'll allow us to be able to distribute back and give every city an original copy. If you don't have a quorum tonight, and that's perfectly fine, we can approve it at a future date, but it needs to be, again, as soon as possible. And if you need me or any of the staff here to come to your council meeting and talk about it, we'd be more than happy to do that. Come, bring the documents, talk to everybody about it, and hopefully come back with an executed IGA. We'll be happy to do that. So we talk a little bit about what happens after today, okay? So So hopefully the cities will complete and approve the IGA as soon as possible and return it to the county. Board of Commissioners are going to have a call meeting on July the 31st to approve the resolution, asking for the Board of Elections to place it on the T-Splosh question on the ballot for November 5th, 2024. And again, the new funds, if that is successful, will start April of 2025. It's real important if we could get those prior to that, because if we have someone who the city say that doesn't sign, or something else comes up and we can't do the 5 years, we'll have to recalculate all the projected revenues again and add those into the IGA, which will mean a change. But hopefully we won't have to do that. But we would ask that everybody kind of address it as soon as they practically can. And again, I think I said July the 19th was the day we'd like to receive these back in. And again, the new funds would start April of 2025. We've worked with the cities really well through the years. We've done a lot of things with you guys. We've done fire district taxes. We've done T-Splosh. We've done Splosh a couple of times. Been very successful. One of the things that when I came here for 6 months. That was 9 years ago. I'm still hanging around. But one of the things I heard was, well, the cities and the counties don't work together. Well, I think we've proven that we do. And I think we'll continue to show that with this as well. So I want to talk just a minute about promotion of the T-Splosh. As Jared mentioned earlier, you have to kind of be careful. We can't spend funds to promote it. We can't buy ads in the paper saying vote T-Splosh using governmental money. Okay, now you can get an organization together and take donations to do that, but generally, we can't do that. Elected officials can discuss and say their position. They can say, I'm going to vote for it, I urge you to vote for it. The staff of the cities of the county can't do that. We can't go out and take anybody. We're paid by county funds, and we can't go out and say we would agree and ask you to do this. What we can do is to go and do informal presentations, and don't have to ask people to vote. I think what you do is you show them what we did last time, and we paved roads that hadn't been paved here in 20 years. We paved several. We've been graveling roads that haven't been graveled in such a long time that they're basically mud now. And we've been making a lot of improvements here, and I know the cities have as well. So we would like to do informal presentations. We can do those before civic groups, church groups, town hall meetings, senior citizens groups, any others that you guys can think of. Also, when we're in a city or near your city, we would like to ask you guys to participate with us in that program, okay? And let's say we're going up to Lucasville to present. We'd like to have it be a joint Meriwether County and Lucasville, program to be able to have the city speak a little bit about what y'all are going to do with it as well. And we'll do that in every city here. And I think that will add a lot. Now, one thing we have done, and you guys probably have too, is we have put out signage that says T-Splosh dollars at work. We try to do that on projects we're working on, and I would encourage you guys to do that as well. We don't want to start too early with any of the promotions, but I think that if sometime around maybe September, after kids are back in school, people are back from summer vacations, probably a good time to start. And if you've got a civic group or you've got a citizens group or whatever town hall meeting that you'd like to have someone speak on, let's put together a program and let's come and speak and involve you guys in it as well. And again, questions, I'll take questions from anybody has any questions about the process. Susan?
Well, let's think worst case scenario. The county says no. The citizens of the county vote it down.
Right.
What's our plan?
Well, our plan is to try to keep doing the best we can. We're not going to have that. We're going to lose, the county's going to lose $8 million, and you guys are going to lose $4 million worth of revenue that's important to us. Hopefully we won't, but what we'll have to do is we'll have to just go back and rely on that 30% local match out of SPOS to do the LeBig. What results in that is this. You won't see roads paved for a long period of time. We paved 4 roads, one of them a long stretch. And First Road has been paved in 20 years. Alley Road was the last road that was paved, and it needs pavement now, it needs resurfacing. We've done graveling on the roads. Haven't had the dollars to expend. I mean, it's expensive to gravel a dirt road. People think, oh, you just need a dump truck load, but you need a bunch of dump truck loads. We spent $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on graveling roads. But I tell you what, it's shown some result. We've gotten some good reports back on that. We, just like you guys, we were just talking earlier today, we've got some projects out here where we have some drainage issues on the road. We hope we can get those fixed for our staff inside, in-house, but you don't ever know. You might have to hire someone. So if it doesn't, we're all going to have to just back up and think about what we're doing. I really think that if we could show the people what we've done, and certainly all of us will have things we could show. And we'd like to have the cities, if you guys have some pictures of some projects you've done with T-Splosh, send them to us. We'll put them into the program and promote those too. And I'm hoping it'll be the same as last time. We got 76% last time, and we've definitely made some improvements. And as Jared said earlier, when you buy equipment, that equipment is used on all the roads. So, we try to do that. That shows everybody gets some benefit from it, not just the people who live on the gravel roads or whatever.
But there's not an end around with the state? I mean,
No.
there's no end around.
No end around. No end around. Now, I will say, we tried, the state works well with us, okay? We've tried to get as much money from the state as we can, and they'll help us. You just have to go about asking them and making sure. We got an extra $525,000 for some phone calls about a road up here when we were doing the bypass when the bridge was out. They've sent that much dollars down here to help us fix that road. As it turned out, the road held up okay. They allowed us to keep those and put it into another important project in the county. And in years past, we've got assistance with drainage. But but GDOT's not going to give you everything. They want you to have some skin in the game too. And T-Splosh allows you to have some skin in the game without having to take it off your splosh.
These town hall meetings really do help. It's what brought us to the 75%, because it originally failed initially when it was in with the group of counties around.
Yeah,
So it failed.
Yeah.
And then we brought it back around when we could, and having these meetings in the towns and saying, these are the things that this amount of money will do for the county. This is the things that this amount of money will do for each city, to be able to maintain certain things within there. And then follow that with, and that $150 or that $50,000 to $200,000 that we'll receive frees up your additional tax money coming in for us to do even more for that city. So this is, and you add in that the 40% of it comes from outside people coming in and visiting and purchasing here in Meriwether County, where about 60% of that 1 cent sales tax comes from the citizens inside of Meriwether County buying. It is a win-win situation, because an additional 40% of money is coming in from outside people coming through visiting Meriwether County, and you still have additional funds. It really did work last time. The presentations are the key.
Yeah, but I'm not sure throwing that 40% number around is really a good idea. Comparing us to Coweta County, we
could.
We don't have what Coweta County has.
Yeah.
We don't have that kind of retail.
No, but 40% of what we get of the $12 million comes from people who don't live in Meriwether County because of purchasing.
No, Coweta County gets 40%.
Yeah.
Not Meriwether County.
They probably, Susan, get more than that down. That 40% figure was done before Ashley Park or any of those things were out there. That was done 15, 20 years ago. We went to the retail that they did have, the Walmarts and everything, and we went and we counted tags. How many are from in county? How many are from out of the county? And we still came up with that 40%. Now today, it's probably more than
But
that.
there's gotta be somebody at one of those meetings that's gonna find out different and then end up getting burnt on something.
Well, what we said is
Well, on
that,
average, that's what it is.
yeah. And what we've said in the past at the meetings is, we haven't done a survey here, but we know that this has happened in other places. And So that, we're not guaranteeing it's 40%, but it very well could be.
If y'all would just come to Flat Shoals Road, I'll vote for it.
Yeah. Hey, they did put some money toward Flat Shoals Road Bridge. They did that. And you know what? That comes from T-Splice.
Well, praise the Lord, we got some savings.
Other questions? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So the original one was for 5 years, and it said that after the last check comes, we have 5 years to spend all of it. So with the new one, this is going to be 6 years. So we have to still, even though we have one more year coming after 5 years, is that when we have to start spending, or is that changed also?
You know, we'd have to see what the law, changes or says about that, since they're now allowing the 6 years. We'll be one of the first ones that has the 6 years. And they may, it seemed to me they should allow you year for year to be able to spend the last dollar that you got. So.
You gotta start spending it, and you still got a whole other year coming.
Yeah, you can spend it.
Or you can spend anytime you want.
Yeah, anytime it comes in, but you just can't pool it together and then wait and eventually not do something or wait 10 years. You need to expend it because they want you to expend it and put it back into the projects and the program. So do the citizens as well. They want to do it as well.
Yeah, I don't see that. I'm gonna look for it next time.
Yeah. And that's what we're prepared to do, is show them what we've done and what needs to be done, and everything from there. Back to a point Susan made, same time we were getting 76% here on the vote, it failed in Coweta and it failed in Spalding. And I say the reason it failed, they didn't do what we as a community did. You guys as cities and the county commissioners and all, we got out and talked about it. Okay, they just kind of let it go, put it on the ballot, thinking it'll pass, and it didn't. What we did was we showed people what we were going to do, and now we could go back 5 years later and say, we told you we were going to do this. Here's what we've done. We could show you the road. We could show you the gravel we're doing. We could show you the drainage things that we fixed. So we'll have some evidence of what we've done, and we did a good job, or the board did a good job with it. And I think that will go a long way to sell it too. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Let me ask this. Do any of the cities see that you have any problem with the IGA and participating with it? I know it's not official till you vote on it, but I just didn't know whether there was any issues or concern that any of you have. If you do, we'd sure like to address that and get that taken care of. And the cities that have a quorum, you could vote tonight, or you can vote at your next council meeting, however you want to do it. But again, we do need it back by July the 19th, if we could. That's kind of important. Yes, sir.
If you don't get it on the ballot, and then you have to put it on a special election ballot, is this IGA still controlled?
Well, if we could get an IGA executed in time, we could get it on that. If we don't, then it means we didn't get the IGA executed, and you'd have to execute another one down the road.
We don't want to be on the hook for a special election cost.
Right, that's right. That's the reason it was referenced up here earlier. Right now, and I think you guys had asked a question about what's it going to cost us to our portion of that election. Well, right now, that portion of the election is zero. So we'll have it on with everything else. So it's just a matter of having it on the ballot.
Any other expenses related to it other than the election?
No other expenses, and cities can keep, counties can keep a small amount of dollars for administration of the fees. I don't think we've done that. John, we put everything we've got back into the category. So, you guys can keep, if you got a lot of bookkeeping in the county, you can probably pay for that out of it. But other than that, there's no other expenses. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Grable wants to vote.
Grable wants to vote, okay?
Could I get a motion? Mayor, could I get a motion to approve the IGA T-Slide for T-Slide
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the IGA for T-Plus.
Can I get a second, please?
I second the motion.
It has been motioned and second to approve the IGA for T-Slot. All in favor? Opposed? Motion approved.
Thank you, appreciate it. Would you send us a copy of the minutes of that? Thank you.
Lucas Gill would like to go ahead and, can I get a motion to pass the IGA, the T-Slot from the council member? Can I get a second? The motion has been made and seconded. We need discussion. Can I get a vote? All in favor, say aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. Lucas Gill has approved the application.
Thank you, Sheriff, we appreciate that.
Okay.
Just go ahead.
Go ahead, Zach.
Mr. Chair, I just want to interject for a second. There were a few amendments that were suggested to the document that was originally presented. I think it'd be cleaner if each of these motions that are passing are making the motion to approve the IGA with the amendment that all of the cities add buses to their city projects, that there will be an amendment to the location, the notice location for the city of Gay, as previously indicated, an amendment to the Woodbury location as previously indicated, and an amendment to the Lone Oak location as previously indicated. Allow their chair or their mayor to sign and their clerk to attest and seal.
And then what we'll do is we'll add on the other one, we'll add those.
Y'all would then be allowed to clean it up, and they have the authority already to sign that cleaned up version.
Right.
I think that would be a cleaner way to do this.
Good deal.
I meant to interject, I just didn't realize it was gonna move that quickly.
Wake up, Mike, we don't got no time.
Greenville hopped on it.
Y'all ready? We ready, let's go.
They want that bus.
Page 10 of the part that does cover the expense, can we have that completely removed?
I think that's part of the law, but,
Can we add something that it would be $0 for?
well, I guess as an IGA, we could say that the county would cover that. I think you could add that to the IGA.
If it's done by July 19th.
Yes, right, yes.
That'd be the only way, yeah. It's done, if we don't get it before July 19th, then you gotta help pay for it.
Yeah.
So I mean, after July 19th, we're not going to, the IGA would be good.
Right.
Right, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, but we don't want to be responsible for the ones that don't get it there by July 19th. We're gonna have our part done.
Right.
So,
Well, hopefully everybody will, and maybe if we have
I
some.
have to be the only one to pay for a special election.
Right. Well, we'll be giving you a call if there's a city that had decided, we'll have you go visit with them, Susan.
Okay, well, we just don't want any, like, well, it's in there, and you guys gotta help pay for it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, there, again, and that is part of the law, that's what it says, but right now, there's no cost if we do it, you know, this year. And there will be a cost of next year, because it's about $35,000, and we'd have to split that up, you guys
It
would
would
pay.
take all our money for the T-spot, it wouldn't be worth it, though.
Yeah.
Well,
It wouldn't take that
Much more
much.
than that.
It wouldn't take that much.
I don't think it will require amendment just because a per capita split of 0 is still 0.
Right.
And so, I mean, I don't, it would just be doing it to do it, so.
Yeah.
And I think if it gets to the point to where one municipality held out and caused this to go over, the county would most likely, I'm speaking as one vote, pay for the cost excluding that one municipality paying their fair share. I mean,
But
that
if we
would be
don't
a
have all
logical
of
thing.
that, if everyone's the one's not on board anyhow, then we're going to end up with a 5-year SPOS instead of 6.
Yeah, that's right. And no, I think we're gonna be good. I've told, there's 2 cities not here tonight, Pine Mountain and Warm Springs. I've talked to both of them, and I'm going to see both of them at their council meeting. They're fine with it, so they're in the bank, they just got to vote on it.
We're poor, we don't, we're poor. We're very poor.
Understand. And I think the commitment from the board here is say, we're not gonna charge you, is good. As Michael says, you know, you take your percentage times 0, it's 0. So I will be good with this.
IGA is ready to vote.
Sorry.
The town gate's ready to.
Yeah, I think it would be good to make that amended motion or to call a second motion asking to pass the IGA with the 4 amendments. I believe it was just those 4 amendments, which was again, to add buses to all the city projects, to amend the City of Gay's notice location as indicated by the City of Gay, to amend the Woodbury city, notice location as indicated by the City of Woodbury, to amend Lone Oak's, notice location as indicated by Lone Oak, to allow your chair or your mayor to sign and for your clerk to attest and to seal.
And the easy way to do that.
And the easy way to do that
is to say to amend the original and for it to state with the additional information,
provided by the county attorney. Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. And what we will do is, we will get you even though you got it tonight, we'll clean this up and get everybody the clean copy with those changes. Yes, sir.
In Manchester, we got enough projects without needing bus. I can understand others, but if Manchester City Council doesn't want a bus, can we leave it?
Yeah, you don't have to buy it.
And I'm gonna bring that up because I think it creates the expectation.
If you put it in there, okay.
And we may not.
It was just adding to the project you can do with the tax dollars.
Yeah, and if you guys don't want to have that in there, we'll take that bus out of Manchester.
Okay, I think it's city by city, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
We have to list it city by city.
Yep.
So all of the cities then would add a bus to their city projects with the exception of Manchester is what you're asking the IGA to be amended to. So the same thing that I indicated, except for the city of Manchester would be exempt or excluded from the buses being added to their projects.
So moved.
We can make that change.
So moved. Those are the magic words.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to Green.
Could I get a motion to approve the IDA for T-Splot? Mayor, I make a motion to.
As provided by the county attorney with the amendment suggested. Sorry.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the IGA for T-Splosh with the amendments to add the buses to the projects with the exception of Manchester, to correct the locations for Gay, Woodbury, Lone Oak as spoken by the council members, as well as to allow the mayor and city clerk to sign and attest this.
It's a nice motion.
It has been motion and second. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
The Lone Oak needs to do, Woodbury needs to do the same thing.
I was gonna go around the way.
We're gonna stay with her. I didn't do all of the amendments.
Just say by the county attorney.
One just say it's indicated by the county attorney.
Yeah, just say it's indicated by the county.
As indicated by the
As indicated by the county attorney.
We had already adjourned, so we got, City of Greenville City Council, meeting is back in order. Can I get a motion to amend,
To approve.
to approve the amendments that were suggested by the county attorney
T-Splosh IGA.
for the T-Splosh,
IGA.
And allow your mayor to sign?
TGA. Oh Lord. My man had already went on vacation. Yeah, so, can I get a motion? Motion has been made, and I get a second.
I'll second.
Motion has been made and second, do we need a discussion? All right, can I get a vote? All in favor? The ayes have it, all approved. Motion is adopted.
Thank you. Go to Woodbury.
Can I hear a motion from the council that we adopt the IGA along with the amendments included by the county attorney. And allow the mayor and city clerk to sign.
I made the motion that we accept the amendments by the county attorney and allow the mayor and city clerk to sign it.
Have a second. Any discussion? All right, all in favor, raise your hand. Approved.
Thank you. You want to go back to Manchester?
They don't have.
Oh, okay, okay, excuse me.
Manchester didn't have a quorum, I don't think.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the IGA with the four amendments provided by the county attorney to allow the mayor and the town clerk to sign it.
Motion. A second.
All in favor?
Now we go to Manchester.
They don't have a quorum.
Oh, they don't have a quorum. Oh, okay.
If you guys could, they don't have a quorum tonight, if you could let Allison or Christie one know what your next meeting is, we'll be happy to have someone attend and answer any questions about that. Okay. And again, July the 19th.
So if they don't have a meeting scheduled, they're gonna have to.
They're gonna need to
Special
schedule
call.
one, right.
Our next meeting is scheduled for the 15th of July.
Okay,
Monday night at 7.
Fantastic.
We'll plan to get out done.
Fantastic. That'll work out fine. Mark, I'll come if you guys need me, but Mark knows more about it than I do, probably.
Our meeting was yesterday, we said we'll have, we didn't have that quorum, we'll have that call. They're supposed to be in tomorrow.
And we'll get everyone a corrected copy with the changes we talked about tonight.
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
All right. Now, if I could get a motion from one of the commissioners up here to, same thing with the amendment of the county attorney's comments of the changes to go into this IGA with the cities.
And to allow the chair to sign.
Allow the chair to sign.
Clerk to attest.
So I want one of y'all to make that motion.
So
I'll
moved.
repeat.
He just did it.
Okay.
Second.
Say all in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He's just working it out.
Yeah. Any other questions or comments or anything else? We have one more thing on our agenda that we're gonna do real quick, and then we'll allow each one that had a quorum to adjourn, close your quorum out. The next thing we have right here is number 3. Go ahead, Mr. Redgill.
It just came to me this afternoon that possibly to allow an additional holiday and observances Friday, since the 4th is on Thursday, and the staff would have to come right back Friday just to take off Saturday. So I would like to make a motion as a one-time observance to have Friday, July the 5th off for a continued county holiday.
You got a motion, I have a second.
Second.
A second, all in favor?
Paid holiday?
Oh,
Yes, paid, it's paid, any holiday.
all in favor? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
All right,
Word's gonna get out.
Second.
Greenville wants to do it now.
I don't have any.
But we need them to close out their stuff before we close ours out.
Anything in order to
All right, we need to close out each one of y'all's quorums before we do ours to get a motion to adjourn.
Every city that had a quorum tonight and needs to close their meeting before the county closes their meeting. So it doesn't matter the order, but you can start with Greenville. I know y'all had a quorum.
Should I get a motion to close our special call meeting? All right, Mayor, for the official last time, Mayor, I make a motion to adjourn our meeting. Did I get a second? Yeah, second. It has been motioned and seconded that the meeting is adjourned.
Yay?
I motion to adjourn this meeting. I second.
All in favor?
Come Luthersville.
Can I get a motion to adjourn our session? Can I get a second? Motion have been made and seconded. Can we get a roll? All in favor? The ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned.
Woodbury.
I'll count for one, I'll count for you to add another item to our agenda.
Go ahead real quick, please.
Okay, now we have a motion.
So everybody's closed out their meetings. Before we adjourn ours, do we have anything for litigation, personnel, real estate, or tax matters? Do we have to go to executive
Not
session?
that I'm aware of, Mr. Chair.
If not, then I have a motion to adjourn. Hold on, excuse me. Yes,
I
ma'am.
want to ask a general question, since we're all here, and the citizens are here, is there any way that we can have this same kind of meeting concerning countywide recreation?
We'd love to. Look, Miss Mayor, you gonna behave?
No. She asked that question.
Well, we'll look forward to that in the very near future. But thanks for asking that question.
Thank you, I just wanted to make sure they are ready.
Do I have a motion to adjourn? Do I got a second? All in favor? This meeting is adjourned.